At the site of Grace, I level from 60 to 68 and continue down to Alfalfa. Using that classic tactic, I get down to the second bonfire and through the pool of AIDS without any issues. I drop down the daddy hole, and the talisman I want is being guarded by these, I don't even know what they're called, silkworms? It doesn't matter because I take the same cheap aim at the feet approach and kill them too, and then pick up the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman. This talisman is cheating. It grants you plus 20% physical damage absorption. That's a fuck ton. Returning to Skyrim, I need to kill the fire giant again. On my way, the dragon Aurora attacks me, but I ignore her like any other woman. Lighting the first bonfire. I've already been here before, so I immediately get lost and invaded by Okinawa-sama. Grab the bonfire outside the fire giant fight and immediately go in. Last time I was here, I cheesed this guy by shooting him with lightning great arrows. But I'm the fucking loser who killed Radani by smashing his horse repeatedly in the face with a jar. So I'm gonna try to duplicate that here. I got it on my first try. The fight opens poorly. I get knocked off by his wave attack and have to heal, as well as hit again by his sled. This is another fight that I need to keep Torrent alive for if I want this to be over quickly, so I don't want to get too greedy with how many times I can attack his weak point. Second phase is a bit more scary. I don't know if it was the Mimic holding aggro or what, but I never got crushed like an infant under the weight of its mother. The Mimic ends up dying after kicking the fire giant's hand. The future of AI, ladies and gentlemen. Very well coordinated 4 last hits take him down, and I make my way to the kill into the first flame, leveling from 68 to 74. Tina the Tulpa reappears, doses me with some GHB, and sets herself on fire in protest for something important, I'm sure.
Oh shit! Oh Lord Jesus! Oh Jesus! Get to work! Jesus Christ!
I awake several hours later, horrified to discover I'm in Oklahoma. A gangbang, a dragon, and a shit ton of platforming later, I arrive at the site of Grace outside the Godskin duo. Reminder that I've beat this boss before with the jar cannon, and I'm doing this for you. Here's the thing about this fight. It's a filter boss. For the jar cannon, it's a hard filter. I could spend an entire video talking about the breakdown in this fight and milking you morons for all the ad revenue possible, but that's both lazy and boring. The trick to this fight that took me a while to figure out is that the ballista bolts can fire through the columns. What the fuck? I'm pretty sure this is because they're considered destructible environment, which means that they have a certain amount of health before they're destroyed. I don't actually know though, so we're just gonna have to wait for Zulu to tell us. The same problem with all other bosses occurs with these enemies as well. The moment they're hit, they start booking it toward me. Unlike the Fellacioman brothers earlier, however, they do not get knocked down when hit with the ballista. Unsurprisingly and consistent with past practice, the safest time to attack is when they're already attacking me. Thankfully, like every fucking boss in this game for some reason, they have a ranged attack that is very easily telegraphed and capitalized upon. With the jar cannon, this is a very slow, almost turn-based boss fight. I end up killing them both after a few tries, and what I would consider to be the hardest fight up until this point is now completed. I level from 74 to 78. With the Codskin duo dead, I continue deeper into the Indian reservation. After slaying my national bird, this asshole comes back and starts shooting bad Jedi beams everywhere. Shooting him with all my lightning and a good amount of regular ballista bolts gives him bonitis for a little bit, but he gets better, don't worry about it. Just to test if this thing is actually taking any damage at all, I decide to move in for a closer inspection. With the full force of the United States Postal Service trying to kill me, I end up dying to the fire breath attack. We ascend the elevator to our final site of Grace before the next boss, Grundle. Wait a minute, I don't have footage of me killing Commander Nile. And this backup file already puts me in the Hollywood Hills when I load into it, which means I have no save file prior to killing Commander Nile. And that means making an entirely new character in order just to kill one guy. Anyway. Alright, we're here. Y'all already know the first one's free. The Mimic has just one job for this fight, and that's to stay alive long enough for me to kill the summons. I'd love to do this quicker, but I get hitboxed super fucking hard at the start of this fight. Ultimately, I'm able to make this a fight between just the two of us in this castle in the sky. The problem is, I don't know when to properly attack him. My first attempt at a safe attack was after he slams on the ground, but he follows up quickly if you're too close. In the end, I notice I could run to one corner, shoot him twice, dodge the ice skating slash attack, then run away during his AoE follow-up, and go catty corner to where I was previously, in order to repeat this process and finally kill him. It's not honorable, but it's definitely way more legitimate than shooting him through a hole in the wall like I did last time. Just as a little bit of cleanup, we're back here to kill a boss that I previously cheesed, and that's the bell-bearing hunter. So here's some footage of me killing... Fucking... Alright, we're done. We're done with bosses that were cheesed. No, Mo doesn't count. Shut up. I have finally done everything that I had already done but wasn't recorded. And it only took... Back in the past, which is now the present, I'm headed to fight Malekith. This fight happens in two parts. The Beast Clergyman, who doesn't give much trouble, and the actual fucking boss. As I said, the Beast Clergyman is really just a Phase 1 psych to make you think that this is going to be an easy fight. Anyways, after entering Phase 2, this fight becomes turbo unfun. Malcolm is, unsurprisingly, a Mimic Melter. After dying a few times, I realized I had reached that part of the game where survival outweighed damage. Donning the same armor I had begun my quest in, I reached... Donning the heaviest shit I could, I took on the boss once more. As I've already said, Phase 1 is baby mode nothing, a similar spit roast I've done for most other bosses. Mally with the double D, however, is a different fight entirely. Aside from all the aforementioned nonsense with his HP debuff, he'll also climb on walls, pillars, and just go batshit wild from there. I honestly wish I could tell you I found an opening in this boss, but I didn't. The best tactic I found was to MGE him on Spire and aim at the ground until I finally killed him. Fantastic. That was the first time I've ever killed that boss. Not sure why you all had so much trouble with him. Touching the rune transports me to literal hell. And I leveled to 94 at the bonfire. Oh boy, an NPC is a boss fight. Fucking yippee! It's an honorable duel between me and this guy, magic versus the ingenuity of the jar cannon.
Until now.
Well, if this motherfucker's all-knowing, he should have known this shit was about to happen. Hey, remember that fight against the Golden Ghost forever ago? You know, the one that would dodge anytime I shot at him? Well, he's back, and now he's got count them, 3 phases. The first phase is more of a reused asset than anything else. It's the same Super Saiyan fight from earlier. Phase 1.5, we'll call it, is more of the same, except now he's got a move that makes his stomp target the entire fucking arena. This phase is annoying, and it's another Mimic Melter. Your Mimic will not attempt to dodge this attack at all. The main problem with this attack is that he always moves before he stomps the yard, so the accuracy of the jar cannon is a problem. The entire fight, regardless of phase, is dependent on aggro sharing with your Mimic. Once he's reduced to about 1/3 of his health, we move on to Phase 2, where he...
Lightest befits the crown.
That was the first time I ever killed that guy. I don't know why you guys have such a hard time with that. Reviewing the footage, it seems I used Erdtree's favorite talisman for the Malekith fight earlier. So I went back and killed Mo in the sewers to pick up the talisman. There, I beat Mo without choosing him. Happy? Didn't think so.
Memory broken, true ghost is broken. I've even forgotten my name. I don't know the season or why it's the reason I'm standing here holding my way. A death on the clay, plays out any trace. Only the gold in the field. It's me that I fight if I stand up and fight. The only thing I know for real, there will be blood.
mine alone. They're coming.
Now all the bosses I previously cheesed have been outrightly killed. You're welcome. By the way, that Deathbird, he slipped off that mountain, okay? I didn't do that. That wasn't me. The final boss fight begins with a man-woman named Radadad. In this phase, the primary damage comes from holy and physical attacks. It's not fun, but it's Kino, I'm told, for whatever that's worth. And hey, check this out!
Just a prank, bro.
Yeah, that's new! When I finally kill him, the hard part of this boss is over.
Are you sure about that?
I could not beat this boss, so I went off to gather some better gear. Very cool. The ballista bolts do more damage than lightning great arrows, but the lightning great arrows have significantly less fall-off damage, so I use a mix of the two. Lightning when I'm further away, and regular when I've closed some distance between us. After he's lost a good portion of his health, he sends out that thing that Games Done Quick mouth breathers pog about every time they see. It nearly kills me, but I haven't suffered through assholes that input read or even catch my ballistas to die now. A few more well-timed shots, and this fight ends with trading hits. And that's it. It's over. There's probably things that I didn't end up covering during this video that I did. Lost footage and shit can be a bitch to make up for. This run took a combined 30 hours to accomplish, and many more on top of that, reviewing the footage, script writing, and editing to produce what you've seen here today. But since I don't really have much more to say, I'm G. This was the Jar Cannon run. Thank you for watching.
「芝に誘われて君と出かけよう」「ほらランチのベンチの上で夕